So how was everyone's weekend?
It was good. It was, think about it. We watched a little bit of the Pro Bowl skill games yesterday, and the AFC got their butts kicked in pretty much everything I watched. The actual flag football game, they got crushed. The tug of war, Cam Hayward was involved in that, and the AFC looked like a bunch of kindergartners. So hopefully, I'm hoping that translates to next week's Super Bowl, and the Chiefs go down in a blaze of glory, failing miserably.
Can we say that, Jake? Can we say that?
We have this as our third segment, so I will keep my thoughts somewhat to the vest right now.
Well, I'd like to introduce our interview guest here, Freddie Mitchell. How you doing, Freddie?
Hi, Freddie.
Say hi, Freddie.
Thanks for responding to my email, buddy.
Behind the teddy bear.
Did you send him an email?
I did, and they didn't answer.
How do you?
Okay, so then you.
I looked up like his site.
Okay, so here's what you do now. Now you have to print a letter out, snail mail it.
And if that doesn't work,
start reaching out on social medias. Then you have to start calling. You just got to keep
escalating.
Stay persistent.
Freddie Mitchell has his own website.
He does. And
Are you surprised by that?
He sells merchandise, and the only thing is like a T-shirt and a hoodie that says 4th and 26.
Hey, that was a play I'm sure you were cheering on at the time.
Oh yeah, obviously, there's nothing more I can add to that.
Hey, let's fill our viewers in. It was against the Packers, right?
Yes.
4th and 26.
Playoff game.
Yep.
Donovan McNabb. This was.
I feel like you need dramatic
This was
music.
Super Bowl. This was the Super Bowl year. This was 04. But Terrell Owens was injured at this point with that broken leg. And so they had no receivers, which was the case for almost every year except for the year and a half that T.O. wasn't causing headaches. And Freddie Mitchell made a play, which he does every now and then. I think he also had a tipped fumble recovery in the end zone. Like I think McNabb hit a tight end at like the 5 earlier in the season. The ball, he ran a couple yards. The ball was crushed out of him, pops up into the air, and Freddie Mitchell, I believe, catches it in the back of the end zone. It just popped into the and traveled another 5 yards into the end zone, touchdown.
Mr. Right place at the right time. Apparently,
he really was.
His Wikipedia says that he was baseball teammates with Chase Utley at UCLA.
I did not know that.
He introduced Chase Utley to his wife.
I didn't know Chase Utley went to UCLA.
Speaking of Philadelphia receivers, Todd Pinkston is a Kansas City Chiefs running backs coach right now.
Yes, I know. It's so weird. I found this out last year. I was texting a buddy of it. We're like, well, at least he's not the receivers coach. We had a nickname for him in James Thrash.
James Thrash.
I'm fond of the Eagles of the early 2000s because I had NFL Game Day and I enjoyed playing with or against them because they were another Pennsylvania team. I can't stand today's Eagles. But I liked those Eagles. Donovan McNabb was cool. I liked Terrell Owens.
McNabb was awesome. He doesn't get enough credit. He's not a Hall of Famer, but he almost should have been. Almost.
Well, he had that time in Washington, and then if you remember, he played for the Vikings too for his team. Just like that, I hardly remember that happening. That was like after Favre left. They're like, we're gonna replace Favre with another aging quarterback whose body is falling apart.
The Eagles trade away or get rid of quarterbacks, and boy, do they fall apart.
What were your opinions when you heard of that trade with McNabb going to the Redskins at the time?
Easter weekend, 2010.
Geez, even I don't remember that. It felt like it. Well, I didn't want it. I wanted him and Dawkins to stay as career Eagles. The one that's more egregious is Dawkins being allowed to walk to Denver. That was, and even the Eagles have come back later and said, yeah, we kind of screwed that up. We should have signed. Because who they got, I don't even remember who the heck they signed and drafted after that. Dawkins, back end of his career. Totally get it. He was not prime B Doc anymore, but he was still better than what they had for the next 2 or 3 years by a mile.
Well, speaking of surprising trades, I was going to use this as a Beyond Butler segment, so we might as well talk about it now. I was writing for my freelance job late Saturday night, and I'm just sitting there, and suddenly I see a notification pop on my phone that Luka Doncic was being traded to Lakers.
Yeah.
And that was one of those things like everyone's wondering, did Shams Charania get hacked? Like, why?
I also learned through this that he was back at ESPN. I didn't realize he had left the Athletic at that point.
Yeah, no, he was the lead like insider for, I think it was it Stadium? Is that still a thing?
Stadium, and then he was he was working Stadium and the Athletic for a while. He had started at or one of his first starts was with ESPN because he was basically Woj's protege.
Yeah.
But then there's been some real bad beef between the two of
Well,
them.
Woj retired.
Well, yeah, now he's at St. Bonaventure,
which is a weird move in itself. But
GM of the Bonnies.
Did you like have any grasp on what happened there with Luka being traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis? And
I saw Anthony Davis was traded to the Mavs, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, it really doesn't affect me because I'm not an NBA fan at all anymore.
I was just gonna say I don't think you're really interested in that.
I like the drama of the NBA. I don't watch it. I like.
It's a very good soap
on
opera.
Podcasts and stuff, but I don't sit down and watch basketball games. If I see it on, it's like.
How about the NBA wives or basketball wives? Do you watch that? Come on.
You don't watch it? Come on, that seems like a show you would watch.
Yeah.
No.
You don't watch any of
How
those?
about,
Hey,
once you and,
What about what's her name?
Bailey? once you and Bailey
you for
tie the
getting
knot,
that.
we can have wives of the Butler Eagle. Yeah.
Yes.
That'd
Butler
be probably the most boring show on TV.
Yeah, honestly.
Well, you're calling your wives and girlfriends boring. That's not nice.
I'm saying my life is a little bit boring. Yes, I'm 33 years old. I don't do a whole lot of.
What does that
exciting
have to
stuff.
do with being boring? That's
I don't
just
do a
that's your
whole lot
fault
of
that you're boring.
You're right.
You don't have to be boring.
I choose to be boring. To
You guys
some
ever
degree.
seen the Godzilla and King Kong movies?
No.
Me and
Separately.
me and what's her name watched that last night.
Excuse me.
What's
Just-
her name?
No,
Nope.
see, that's not nice.
What's her name?
She's gonna listen, and we're already past it. It's yeah.
No, you're gonna cut your part out and then you're gonna leave
What's
that.
her
And
name?
she's
I'm gonna
be
find her on social media, and I'm gonna get a picture of you guys. I'm gonna hide it somewhere in this set, hanging on the wall.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah, I am gonna start doing that. Yeah, right there. You're like right in front of it too. You should shift just a little bit to your right, just a smidgen.
You just need to put it like peeking out.
Godzilla
I
and
know,
King
right?
Kong.
Trying to
Godzilla
think
and
of
King
where.
Kong team up and fight other
Picking out of the
giant
frame.
monsters.
Oh, he's got to go in the tree.
Yeah,
At some
we could
point.
make him into like an
We
ornament.
gotta like cut it out.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that.
Little like stick figure thing.
Or we could put his face like on a stuffed bear, you know.
There you
We'd
go.
just be like,
Speaking of, I was just asking the guys about this. Did you see the itty bitty gritties? How
The-
many have you ordered?
Itty-bitty.
No.
what are you,
Okay.
what are you talking about?
Okay, so you know Gritty, the mascot of the Flyers.
yes,
Okay, giant orange monster thing that just causes havoc and mayhem and chaos.
sure.
Love him. Greatest thing in the history of
That's
inventions.
Good.
You know,
for you.
you know what Build-A-Bear is, correct?
I do.
Okay.
I don't even know if I want to know where this is going.
The Flyers have unleashed the itty bitty gritty, which is basically a
Stop.
Build-A-Bear, but it's gritty, and it is adorably
Can you
terrifying.
wait? Can you record your voice to it though? Because in Build-A-Bears, you can put your voice like in the hand
Nope.
and stuff.
So Gritty
Be like,
has
"I
Gritty
love
has a
you."
little belly button. Like the actual Gritty has a belly button that squeaks. So if it hits it, it squeaks,
What?
or his hands can squeak a little bit.
Why? Why
Because-
the belly button?
Why not?
Because that's weird.
Yes,
It's-
exactly.
Kinky.
So you can
I
get
was waiting.
you can get a pack for $1 of different colored belly buttons to put on this thing, and you can also get different outfits for it, like a leprechaun, the Easter bunny. There's different Flyers jerseys on there, which are not nearly as entertaining. Everyone wants
Oh
them
my
to
gosh,
do
this is
the
funny.
Barbie outfit
The
that he
Tooth
wore
Fairy.
a couple months ago.
Back to
I love him.
back to Freddie Mitchell here.
Yes, please. Let's go back to Freddie Mitchell.
Wikipedia.
Derek's like, please change the subject.
Here's a quote from Super Bowl 39 that Bill Belichick said after
Oh
the
yeah,
game.
I just was reading that.
He said, "All he does is talk. He's terrible, and you can print that. I was happy when he was in the game."
It's such good trash talk coming from Bill Belichick.
What receiver is like most likely to hear that these days? Because Pickens isn't terrible. Like Pickens is good, but like no coach is gonna say they're happy Pickens. is
Well, I mean, the
terrible.
DBs have said that about him. They've been like, all he's done is talk. He brings nothing. Yeah, but no coach is gonna say it. I'm surprised. Like, I forgot that Belichick said that. That was back when he actually said more than 3 words. You're telling me you don't want to buy an itty bitty gritty? I'm gonna keep going back to this just because it's fun as hell, fun as heck.
Listen, if you guys can find
gotta look
me
this up.
a husband that's a Flyers fan I'll get an itty bitty gritty, whatever he is, right? My priorities right now are.
Derek, does your dad cheer for the Flyers?
Oh Lord, here we go. We haven't told.
He said,
my
dad said hockey's for white Canadian kids that couldn't make it in college. That's what he thinks.
Wayne Gretzky used to take my Soul Cycle class out in Westlake. No joke. And he would talk to me after class.
Huh.
And one time he came right around the 4th of July. So I had flag pants on and I was up in the podium and he went like this to me. And he like went like this. And I was like, and I would
Wayne Gretzky?
Wayne Gretzky. And I walked over to him. I go, Wayne, what's up? What do you want?
What's up?
What do you need, Wayne?
Rolling your eyes.
What do you need, Wayne?
Gretzky.
He's like, I have a question. He's like, when are we going to celebrate Canada Day? And I said, well, Wayne, I was like, I'm not Canadian. I said, but for you, I'll celebrate Canada Day. I was like,
Wayne Gretzky could have been your husband. You let that opportunity pass up.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy.
You could be Laura Gretzky right now.
Can you imagine? You wouldn't even know me. I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, we wouldn't have this show.
I'd be in Westlake. I'd be like all like.
You should call him up and ask
bougie.
him what he thinks about
Call him
the
up and ask him to join our show.
Wow, look at that thing. Oh my gosh, he's cute.
Exactly. He's adorably terrifying. I want them all.
Oh my gosh.
I want them all.
This is the thing. If you get, we need to put them on the table. We need to collect them. Well, guys, you got a call here.
I think we have an in to interview Wayne Gretzky that
Yeah.
Laura's not acknowledging over here.
Listen, I was honestly thinking about that, and I was like, I don't even know if the dude will remember me. But then, who's his son-in-law, the golfer? He took class too. He came with his
Koepka?
trainer.
Is it Koepka? No, it's.
I can't remember what his name is.
Gretzky's son-in-law. Let's Google this.
Oh,
We should know this as people.
and Eddie Cibriani, Leanne Rimes' husband. Oh,
I don't know who that
he's
is.
a good-looking man.
Dustin Johnson. That's it.
Dustin Johnson also took
See,
class.
we're sports people.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, I would randomly have all these people in class. I'd just be like, hey, what's up? He'd come in and be like, Wayne. And he'd just go like this. And that was the one time he went like this to me. He went. I was like, what do you want?
Perks of being in LA.
I was like, I got to start class. Like, what do you?
I know 3 golfers. That's about it.
It was a Friday hip-hop class, too.
Personally, John Henrietta. Welcome to Eye on Sports, where we delve into the biggest Butler County sports topics. I'm your host, Butler Eagle Sports writer Derek Pyda. Joining me are fellow sports writer Brendan Howe and Eagle Sports editor Jake Merda Adams.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We have you on the lines here. All the guys can hear you. So, I don't know. Are we saying who it is?
I don't know if I told them who it is, but they should probably be able to guess by now.
We were
talking.
talking about it last week.
It's
Yeah.
Mallory.
Yes.
Yep.
Say hi.
Hi, Mallory.
Hello.
Brendan.
Hello.
So to our the listeners should know who this is, but Jake, go ahead, introduce your wife.
This is my wow.
My
Ma. Jeez. My wife, Mallory Merda
nervous.
Adams.
It was cute though. You were like my Mal. Just go with it.
I went to say mife.
Are you nervous?
No. Heck no.
Okay, so
Jeez.
heck no. Okay, all right. I'll let you guys.
So, Mallory.
Nerves me.
We get to see Jake under the pressure of deadlines and pages.
Derek's
and
glare.
My glare. Tell us what Jake is like at home when he's able to just kind of kick back and take a load off.
I don't think he ever does.
I knew that was the answer.
I don't know why that's not a surprise.
Yeah. It's the type A personality, and it never kind of stops. So it's kind of like the same thing at home.
Wow.
Do you know how often she tells me to do nothing, to just sit down and why are you trying to do something? How often does this come up, Mallory?
A lot, and it's nearly impossible for you.
So is it like Jake, it's 12:45 a.m. and he's like, we have to go to bed exactly at 12:45 a.m. or my night is ruined.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
please.
That's amazing.
Oh,
He
please.
has a schedule.
I mean, I do have a
Yeah.
schedule, but here's the thing with the sleeping stuff. It's not that. I'm not that anal about it. I'm the only one who gets the dog up in the morning, and the dog starts whining at 6:30, and Mallory's not going to be bothered to get up at that early of an hour, so I've got to get up by 7:30 to let the dog out. There's no one else.
just
to do
follow
So
it.
your
now it's
schedule,
turned into
that's
calling
all.
her out on
Yes,
the dog?
exactly.
What?
This
The dog just follows his schedule every morning. Bark 5:30 a.m.
Oh, it's not barking. It's just whimpering, right? It's just whimpering.
Yeah.
It's like it's inner clock. The dog knows when it's time to do this, do that.
Just
my wife would say the same thing about me. I got a kind of inner clock. It's time for me to go for a walk.
That rhymed. You guys said something last week in the episode that rhymed. You said something, and afterwards I listened to it. I was like, oh, I should have put like a Dr. Seuss thing in there or something.
He's a poet and didn't know it.
Didn't know it.
Mallory, I keep forcing this into the conversation today just because it's really funny to get the reactions. What is your thought on the itty bitty gritty?
Even as a Penguins fan, I have to say I love the idea.
How many are we getting? How many have we ordered already?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
We're ordering 10 of them.
I don't know if you have ordered any, but I would love to order like 30 of them.
See?
How many different ones are there? Or the outfits separate, or they come in the outfits, right?
You get different outfits. And so far they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 of them are Flyers jerseys, which again, the worst ones there. There's a Santa one, there's a turkey one, there's an Easter bunny one, a inner tube rubber duck thing, leprechaun, and then the boxer one.
Well, you got to get the leprechaun because that's coming up.
Leprechaun or the Easter bunny are honestly fantastic. The Easter bunny looks like something from hell. It's just like a demon creation of the
now
Easter
we're
bunny.
saying it every time that we can.
No, that's the noun. I used the noun version. I used the noun.
It's fine. I'm not editing.
Terry Hanratty opened the floodgates.
He did.
Mallory, which gritties are we getting? Valentine's Day is up. You know which one you got to get me something here. So which one is it?
It has to be the rubber duck one. I like the rubber duck one.
All right, fair enough. I think rubber duck is in the top 5 here.
Mallory, I got to ask you this. You're a Penguins fan.
Yeah.
You are now married to, and I know you guys were together for a while before getting married, but you're now married to a Flyers fan. How do you guys coexist when the conversation turns to hockey in your house?
I don't know. It's kind of weird because we don't like to talk about hockey that much, but when it does come up, it's kind of like, oh, we hate each other.
Yeah.
So it goes back to that kind of Philadelphia thing that, like, Pittsburghers go with.
Well, we're going to have to record us at the Penguins game in a couple weeks to see what our reactions are, because this will be a first for us. One of our reporter buddies in Harrisburg told us after the second Penguins championship a few years ago, when we started dating, the Penguins won the first title in 2015, and then they won again the next year. And he texted me like a few days after that second title, was like, if they win a third, you're going to have to break up with her for the sake of Flyers fandom. Because we can't have this for eternity.
Mallory, you're cheering for the Chiefs on Sunday, right?
Absolutely not.
Oh, yeah, Mal. I'm going for the Eagles, too. I'm going for the Eagles, too.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
And I'm a Taylor Swift fan, but no, they got to.
My girlfriend told me that she thinks Jalen Hurts is attractive, and for that reason, I want the Eagles to lose. For that reason and a few others, but...
Tim Tarcher thinks Pat Mahomes is attractive, so
that's good.
Tim
She's okay. So she's rooting for the Eagles.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not
like the Patriots Super Bowl all over again.
Yeah, but Mallory, this is not out of loyalty to me, though, correct?
No, it is because I hate the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
She is her own woman.
Yeah, I like that. She's independent. She's like, you're not going to tell me what to do.
we have found common ground. Mallory and I have something in common. Just,
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm not rooting for them either.
Mallory, what were your thoughts on Kendrick Lamar?
Looks like I'll be the only happy one on Monday, so it's cool.
We'll see about that. We're not allowed to say a lot of things. I don't want to jinx anything for anybody in the room who's
Mallory, you can't
die hard.
I'm not saying anything. So later in the show, we're going to talk about our Super Bowl predictions, and so we're not getting to that part right now. You can obviously tell us yours if you want to, but the question I want to ask you is, what do you expect me to be like on Sunday? You've now seen 2 of these versions of Jake. So what do you expect version 3 to be? We're probably going to be at home by ourselves this time instead of like with friends or with coworkers in Louisville like we were last time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be your own version of insane.
Okay, describe that for the people.
Darn it.
It's a lot of yelling, a lot of clapping, and a lot of, oh my God, you're playing offense.
And what you're gonna want to fire Sirianni about 6 or 7 times during the game.
Oh, I've already set the. I'll wait to unleash the over under later, but it's higher than that. It's way higher than that.
Wait, I thought you said you were having a party and we're all coming over. Are we having a Super Bowl
No, he's
party?
making me work.
You're really gonna do that to me here on the spot? Thanks, Laura. I really appreciate that. I thought we were on the same side here.
I have no plans, so I'm just trying to insert myself into other people's. That's what's happening right now. And I love watching football.
We were thinking about
You
just.
know how to do pages?
No, and I don't want to. Think so.
So you could take my job Sunday.
We were thinking about going to Philly, but taking our dog there with us would not be ideal because it's a new space. Her parents are in Florida right now for the winter. They are migratory birds at this stage of their life. So we can't leave the dog with them. So otherwise I probably would have gone back to be with friends and run down Broad Street if I don't have to fire Sirianni.
Got it.
If.
We're
Big
being
if.
very cautious of the words we're
Big
choosing.
if.
Yeah.
If he's not
No,
fired
like
by the end
into,
of that
like-
night.
When? No, you don't want to say
No. Mallory, how have I been talking about this the entire time? Have I once said anything positive about this team?
I was gonna say there was probably once or twice, but it was like a passive positive. So I would say just not exactly a positive.
Well, if they don't win on Sunday, Jake, you can take solace in the fact that they won on my Madden franchise. So
I will.
Oh yeah.
I will. I appreciate that, Brendan. Mal, I want to start another fight here. Kendrick Lamar, thoughts?
Okay.
oh my God, you better not like Kendrick Lamar.
Won 5 Grammys. I'm a big fan of Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Won 5 Grammys and set the record at the Grammys.
I'm in,
For her
Jake,
rap
I'm in
song.
Drake's corner. I can't fight.
Mallory, you can't see this right now, but he took his headset off, so he
I
could
hate
not hear
Kendrick
you
Lamar.
talk.
I mean, I can just turn his mic off.
it's
I can
just-
always just.
I'm not.
like,
I'm not
perfect.
watching the halftime show or
What's your
anything.
thing? What's your thing when you pushed it down? It.
What song do you want to hear at halftime the most from Kendrick?
I mean, he has to play Not Like Us. But, like, if he
Not
does
Like
Mad
Us.
City again, which he did at the other halftime show when he was
Mhm.
there with Eminem and Snoop Dogg and everyone. But I wouldn't be mad if he did it again.
Yeah.
There you go. Brendan got his favorite answer.
You
my
really,
gosh.
you really just dislike
I hate
him.
Kendrick Lamar.
You hate. There's that word again. He's using hate so much.
He did
No,
go about
every-
15 minutes in.
Everyone jumped off the Drake bandwagon whenever he falsely accused Drake of something that's not true, and everybody, Kendrick Lamar, you're 5'3", and everyone thinks you're good at rapping when Drake is better.
What's his height have to do with it?
Ask Drake.
Now you're insulting shorter people.
As Drake, he said Kendrick's got his back against the curb, which is calling him very short.
Oh. Ooh.
Them's fighting words.
Wow, that's a fight right there. All right, Mallory, tell us something else that we should know about Jake that we don't know. That we can
Does he have
know.
a blankie? Does he sleep with a blankie?
Oh gosh, we don't need to know any of that.
That's what I want to know.
Well, then you can know that at a separate time. I don't know
Do
why
we
you
want to talk? Do we want to talk about the pillows, Jake?
Pillow.
Oh, come on.
You went there. Do it. Go.
He had. How many years have you had those pillows?
Well,
'Cause I
it's
swear
not
to
the same.
God,
It's
it
not
was
the same
from-
one. I finally threw it out when we were in Louisville. But literally, I had a pillow that I had had since like I was a kid because it was like it was super cold. It was cold. I like having a
Oh,
cold
the
pillow.
cool. Yeah, you
Yes.
just flip it.
Yeah, and it's colder than like any other pillow I've ever had, and I have a new pillow now, and it's not as cold, and I don't sleep as well, and I don't like it.
Oh no.
But like my mom and her kept yelling at me to throw this pillow out, and I
well,
fought it for
yeah, I
years.
think there's like a expiration date
I don't care.
for just hygiene reasons.
They
I don't
bullied me into
think
it.
it matters how many times you wash something.
They
After a
bullied me
while, it's
into it.
like it's gotta go.
Yeah, that thing had seen some stuff.
Oh God.
I am so uncomfortable. The pillow. Wow.
That was unfair. That was a low blow, Mallory.
No, I opened it up for
like
it.
a
That's
yellow-
not. Oh, it's a
Yellowing, stinky pillow.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's the worst.
I don't think yellow was the accurate color description for that anymore. It was some weird
I have a
color.
Steeler pillow that's probably about 25 years old.
That's sick.
It used to be in our living room, and now it's been banished to the Steeler room. One of our upstairs, our
a Steeler room.
upstairs
Nice.
spare bedroom is this. It's where I got all my memorabilia.
But it's not one that you slept on.
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
back in the past, but Beth has said, look, if you're going to
Okay.
keep this, it goes in the spare bedroom. So that's where it sits now
Okay.
because I can't get rid of it.
Okay,
It's like 25
gotcha.
years old.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, it's interesting that you guys. I don't know.
What's your weird pillow, Brendan?
I don't have a weird pillow. I have
He sleeps on the
I
bed
have
of
an,
nails.
I have an Elmo blanket that I have had since I was like a baby, and I don't use it as a blanket anymore. Like I have one pillow, and then I take blankets and put them on the pillow, and like my head shapes to them. Like I like sleeping on blankets rather than a pillow.
Okay,
So
that's different.
I use that as like one of the, like pillows.
I
It's a
can't
blanket.
exactly make fun of that, but it is also odd.
It's it's softer than a pillow,
Fair.
and it's not as firm. So like your head can like sink into it.
Oh.
Try it out.
Who would have thought that Mallory calling in would have led to talk about pillows?
Pillows.
Pillow talk.
Pillow talk.
Pillow talk.
Wow. Yeah. We have a new segment on the show this week, folks. It's
Jake's gonna
pillow
need
talk.
a pillow to punch.
You gotta
on
like change
Sunday.
your voice. Yeah.
Just have her call in every week to do that.
Pillow talk.
Every
Mallory,
week.
Mallory's going to be our pillow talk segment.
Pillow
going
talk
forward.
Hey,
segment.
Mallory, Jake was telling us about how he hung up on you when he was driving home the other night. Can you?
Ooh, how mad
confirm?
did that make you? I would have been so mad.
I don't know. It's kind of weird because I was like, I'm kind of an anxious person, so I'm like, oh my god, he either got in a crash and died, or he just lost service.
Which I did. You don't get mad at me too often for like this stuff. When we started dating, like there wasn't a whole lot of like jealousy stuff or insecurity stuff with us outside of I could not say celebrities were attractive. That was about the only thing. Like I couldn't say Emma Watson was attractive, even though she's been like my childhood crush since the first Harry Potter movies came out. That was about it,
Yeah.
right?
It's
When I-
time for you
when
to
I-
make
Yeah,
such
that's
a
about
blanket
it.
noise.
When I went to the card show on Saturday, Bailey was like, "Could you buy me a Jalen Hurts card?" I was
Oh,
like,
jeez.
okay, so I bought her one.
I
and
like
then
the
was
way
like,
she thinks.
Now I was like, could you buy me a Sydney Sweeney poster?
So let me get this straight.
Listen, okay.
You and Bailey, you do not want to know that she is attracted to other guys.
It doesn't bother me. I just don't like Jalen Hurts.
But you're acting like she's gonna like meet him and then be like, I have something to tell you.
Chances less than zero, I guess.
Well, that's not.
Greater than
I mean,
zero.
the key is
Yeah.
It is not.
you don't
zero.
want her in a relationship with another guy, but she's a woman, just like you're a guy.
It's normal to.
You're attracted to other women. Doesn't mean you're going to do anything with them.
I'm not attracted to any other woman.
Oh, here we go.
Oh
Mallory,
gosh. I
Mallory,
can't.
who's your celebrity crush?
It's David Beckham. Always has been.
Bend it like Beckham.
That's another one I got to meet. He used to take class all the time. Yeah. He's short.
Oh yeah.
Short as
Yeah,
Kendrick
tiny man.
Lamar.
He walked into the back office where we have all of our stuff. So I taught for a spin company in LA. Mallory, we were talking about this right before you got on, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Wayne Gretzky used to take my class," and they all looked at me all mad because I haven't brought Wayne on the podcast. I'm like, I haven't seen Wayne since
Yeah.
2016.
Notice how
I
she's
don't-
calling him Wayne.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
that's
Wayne.
we've been
Wayno.
stuck on this
Wayne.
all day.
Well, yeah, we used to like high five. Like,
If it was 2016, he'd have to. That's like 9 years. He'd remember you.
yeah, maybe we'll see.
So he's
One of
coming
these
on-
days,
he's coming
we're
on the
gonna-
podcast.
We're going to get a call, and it's going to be
I'm gonna be like, guys, I
Wayne
have.
Gretzky.
I'm gonna be like, guys, I have someone. I have
Which-
someone for you today.
Who goes speechless
Anyways,
first?
David Beckham.
It's got to be you, Derek.
Speechless for
yeah,
Wayne?
yeah. You
Actually,
you love like that's your era. Like,
It is. And I was never a huge hockey fan, but back when Gretzky and Brett Hull, they were like my two favorite players. This was like early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Because I tried to get on the bandwagon with the Penguins when they won those two cups in the early 90s, and I actually turned against them. I'm sorry, Mallory. I actually rooted against them when David Volek scored that goal against them in Game 7 of the 93, whatever it was, Eastern Conference semifinals.
I'm nodding my head like I know. Yeah,
Knocked the Penguins out. I mean, I was like, yeah. I was happy because at that point I had turned against the Penguins.
Now I have to ask a
Like-
question. I have to ask a question. So you're into sports, Mallory. Do you guys? Are there any sports that you guys like play together? Like, do you guys do pickleball or kickball or anything like that? I don't know. That seems like a.
I could see Jake with a paddle. I'm not a big
Wow,
fan.
that was
I'm,
just-
I'm not a big fan of pickleball either. So
Yeah.
I think
I don't know.
We
Do you
do
guys?
not.
Yeah.
Oh, bowling. But wait, you're in a bowling league.
I bowl. She's
Yeah.
gone with me a couple times.
Okay.
Like she'll go with me on Wednesday sometimes just to chill. But we've gone bowling together a few times.
Yeah.
She's the only person I've ever dated who didn't give me wasn't nervous that I would judge her, which was probably a sign.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe if we're thinking about things like that. But
Sure.
she wasn't intimidated when we did that. She's actually not too bad. I've told her if she ever wanted to join a
Hey, if you ever
handicap
want to
league,
go
I would do it.
practice, I'll go with you, Mal. I got my own bowling ball.
There you go.
My son's
Yeah.
birthday
not good.
party
It's
next
from
month
a
is going to
thrift.
be held at the bowling alley in Grove City.
Nice.
And of course, he's going to have the bumper rails up.
Yeah.
So when I get a strike with the bumper rails up, I'm going to turn around just like Kip.
Will you take a video of that, please?
Yeah, sure.
That could be like your intro. That could be your new intro for the podcast.
that could
Yes,
be-
that's what we need. We need you
Mallory,
guys out
do
and
you-
about.
Do you like Napoleon Dynamite or no? I don't think I've ever actually asked you this.
Brendan's so
I've
mad.
watched it. Yeah.
You
I mean, who hasn't watched it?
okay? Do you like it though?
I mean, I like it. I don't hate it.
Okay.
Well, Brendan hates it.
I
So.
didn't have my coffee today, and now you guys are doing this. It's like, come on.
We promised that we'd talk about it every week. So.
I'll ask one more question for Val because she's been very gracious with her time while still working here or still working right now. I'll ask you this question if you want to share it. If you don't, that's fine. Like, can you tell the guys here and our dozens of listeners what got you into sports? Like, I know a little bit about this with you and your relationship with your dad. So, like, can you tell everyone else
Me
what
too.
it is that you got interested in sports, how you got interested in it, what you and your dad did or anything? If there's a particular moment that stands out from when you were young.
I think it's just my dad from a very young age. I'm going to say 5 or 6. Would always take me to Pirates games. And then when I was getting a little older, we would go more to Penguins games. And, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when they sucked, it was very easy to get tickets. So we would go all the time. And that was kind of like a bonding experience for me and my dad. So I kind of just was like, I kind of want to make sports a career. So I went to college, went first into sports medicine, and then moved into journalism and sports media and got my degree in communications and a minor in sports journalism.
I don't know if you can hear the sound effects there, Mallory.
Can you hear that?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I think it's really cool when women work in sports, and I almost went into sports medicine also. Let's just keep going. Just keep racking them out.
I got another question for Mallory that can irritate Brendan. Where was your dream college that you were going to go to?
It was Michigan.
Oh, he's so mad right now. He hates us.
Mallory made a friend in Derek today, and an enemy in myself.
Oh, please.
He thought I've had them both over at our place shortly after we moved in, and Brendan and Derek got along with Mallory quite well, and I think I've just torpedoed that relationship with Brendan.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Mallory likes to torment people. I know.
Yeah, but that would have been cool to go. They're Big Ten, aren't they?
Yep.
That would have been cool.
Yep.
To go to a Big Ten.
Ann Arbor's like a nice town.
Yeah. I like Michigan.
I don't have any nice words to say about
I've
their
been
football team.
here and I've been here.
That's super helpful. Thanks, Laura.
Well,
for
if you
our
look at
audio
your hand,
audience.
The middle would be
it looks like a glove. Michigan looks
Could be
like a glove. So
Lansing.
when someone says they're from Michigan,
But
you
we're
hold
in an
up.
audio medium, and you're not even
But
on
I'm just
camera.
talking to you guys. Well, hold your hand up then for the camera. I've been here and I've been here. It's fine. Nobody
Mallory,
cares what I
this
have
is
to
our
say.
show. This is how it goes every week, almost every week. And Laura has to cut out a lot of the shenanigans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all right.
great.
Thank
It's
you
fun though. Thanks for talking to
calling in.
us and
Yes.
for
Absolutely.
dealing with this guy.
Giving us some insight to
Yeah.
Jake. I mean,
To
it's
Jake, pillows. Now we know what to get him
Bowling.
next year for Christmas. We got to find that cool pillow.
Itty bitty gritty.
It's out there somewhere. Did you ever see that Family? There's that Family Guy episode. Did you ever see that one where they flip it over and it's someone's face and Peter's like, yeah, and he's like the cool side of the pillow.
I have not. I don't recognize
Seen.
that one.
Retep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mallory.
Thanks,
you,
Mallory.
hon.
have a great week.
Love you.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, pfft. Well, that was abrupt. You're like, goodbye. I'm done talking to you. Goodbye. You're
Brendan's
fun.
Brendan's
are the Borg.
character of
Resistance is futile.
Can I just say something really quickly to you guys? I really love this. I love that the front page of the sports section is the state championships for the Butler High cheerleading team. Just coming from being a dancer on the dance team in high school, and I know a lot of that has changed over the years, that like they really are athletes. I mean, that's not easy what they do. So I don't know. I just appreciate that you guys.
nice job, Derek.
Nice job. Here, I'm gonna go ahead.
It originally was going to go on the front page of the paper. What happened there? Why did they change it?
Because the welcome home parade didn't get
Oh,
in
that's
on
right.
time.
Yeah.
So because they weren't going to get that art and it was going to be submitted instead,
That's right.
It's I don't know. I like that. I think that's yeah.
Thank you.
I like it. I like it. a
I
lot.
like it very much.
I like it very much.
How about we get into a little bit of high school sports?
I'm enjoying this derailment that has been the entire 45 minutes we've talked.
Laura's
so
going to have a lot of fun editing this one. But Brendan, seriously, this is not a movie. You covered Seneca Valley girls basketball. Last Friday against Butler, they beat the Golden Tornado and clinched at least a share of the section title for the first time since 1977. I turned 47 later this month, and that was before I was born. So you know how long ago that was. They can actually, I got to throw this, before I throw it to you, they play Woodland Hills tonight. This is Monday that we're taping this. And if they beat Woodland Hills, they win the section title outright. But what are your thoughts on the great season up to this point that Seneca Valley girls basketball's had?
So Friday night was the first time I got to see Seneca Valley play. I think it was second or third time I got to see Butler play. Seneca Valley led for most of it. They even went up by 10, I think, at 2 junctures in the game. And both times, Butler kind of made their way back. Mimi McMichael got her 1,000th point as they were coming back the second time late in the game. And Seneca Valley, like, you would figure that having a lead like that and watching it kind of go away twice, you'd start to doubt yourself a little bit. And that team just rolled with the punches. Like, Butler would tie it. I think Butler tied it twice. Literally the next possession each time they went down, hit a 3. Seneca did. So that was impressive. Their coach, Dorothea Epps, talked after the game about how she would label her team as a tough one, both mentally and physically. And it was a pretty physical game. Players running up on the floor left and right. So it was really cool to see how tough that team is. I covered them in the playoffs last year against Norwin, and they didn't do that well. And to see what they did this year and where they're going, it's pretty exciting.
It remains to be seen exactly what they do in the playoffs, obviously, but I think this year's Seneca team is much, much better. Gracie Cato is scoring consistently in the double figures. Reese McFadden is a freshman for them, and I know for a fact she's scored in double figures in a number of games this year. And you throw in Natalie Hambley, who's a great ball handler. She's averaging double figures. All signs right now point toward Seneca Valley picking up their first playoff win in 19 years right now.
And by the time this drops, they will probably have clinched the section because they beat Woodland Hills. I had to look this up just to make sure.
Yeah.
Obviously undefeated in the section going into the night, so they've beaten Woodland Hills before, but it was 48-21 last time. I think we know where Monday's going to go. And then Thursday is Pine Ridge, and so by the time this drops, you guys will have about 8-ish hours until they might be an undefeated section team.
Yeah. Great season thus far for Seneca Valley. Dorothea Epps, their head coach, used to coach at Butler. Mm-hmm. She coached up Butler up until, I want to say, 10, 12 years ago maybe. But as you mentioned, I know you touched on this, but I do also want to make sure our viewers and listeners know that Amelia McMichael scored 1,000 points in that game. She became the third county player this season to score 1,000 points, joining Vita Vargo from Mars and Josh Book from Slippery Rock. So congratulations to Amelia. Butler, right now, I don't think they've clinched a spot yet, but they're looking really good to at least be in the playoffs. So we'll see what kind of run they can make. Also on Friday, Butler's competitive spirit team out in Reading, PA, won a state championship in the co-ed division. It's their 5th title in their program's history and 3rd co-ed. So congratulations to the Golden Tornado for getting it done out east. Jake, you have anything to add?
We had go check out some of the photos. It was a little bit difficult for our photo team at 10:30 at night to get some stuff there, but we got a couple photos from their fire truck escort from the Tesla hotel to the high school on Friday night, late on Friday night. We also can't forget, by the time this drops, we will probably have another 1,000-point scorer in Tegan Finucane over at Knock. He's, I believe, 9 away going into Tuesday's game. Derek, you're going to be covering that one, which should be a heavyweight bout against North Catholic, too.
Yeah. So if he does get it tomorrow, obviously there's going to be a story coming on him. He was part of that group that, they got so much playing time as freshmen 2 years ago. Last year they made the play. They got better, made the playoffs. This year they still have a chance to win the section title too, as well. So
this game will probably decide it. It looks like
North Catholic and Knock tomorrow night, Tuesday night, facing off in a heavyweight matchup down at Cranberry Township. What's on your plate this week, Brennan?
Tonight I'm going down to Karn City. They have a pretty important game against Clarion. It's Clarion, right? I always get confused with Limestone and Clarion area, and there's like 12 different Clarions. And from what
they're facing the county of Clarion, just the entire county.
Every single person in the county is going to be on the court against Karn City. It's going to be a battle. But what is that? We're just talking about Marvel, where all the people are coming down the hill, and it's just But I'm going there
on your left.
Then on Friday night, I'll be covering Seneca Valley's matchup with Pine Richland, and after Seneca Valley kind of got held down by Butler, the boys did after the girls' game on Friday. It'll be interesting to see how they kind of bounce back. I know they have a game before then, but the fact that they're on a 3-game win streak after having the success they did early in the season, it's going to be interesting to see if they rebound.
And then by the time this drops, we are a week away from the playoffs in basically every sport.
The brackets come out next Monday, I believe.
For basketball, for most, if not all of them that day, if not shortly after. And then wrestling sectionals, or for the girls, it's going to be Whippeals. Next Saturday, the 2nd, 1st, 8th, 15th. We're going to be neck deep in all this stuff really
February is a very busy month when it comes to high school sports, and I think we got some teams and individuals who are capable of doing some big things. So
which postseason? I have a very strong opinion on this one. Which postseason is the most intense to cover in your two experiences?
You mean season-wise?
Yeah. So you have the fall postseason, the winter postseason, and the spring postseason. Which one is the most intense to cover every year?
I would say winter.
Yeah, you're running around for 2 sports with boys basketball and girls basketball, and then swimming's always a long one. So
I found that out last year.
It's winter because wrestling and swimming districts and states are day-long or days-long thing. It's not a 2-hour go up to the basketball game and cover it and be done.
Right.
And so those are really long weekends when you have them. Plus, all 4 of those sports feel like they're stacked on top of each other more than you have in the fall, where you've got tennis and golf starting separately, and then volleyball, field hockey, and soccer are going a little bit after that, and cross country, and then football is kind of bringing up the rear. Yep. It's all a little. It's a longer postseason, but it's more spread out and a little bit easier to manage.
Well, depending on how our basketball teams do, our Whippeal teams, I mean, we could have 2 days of swimming down at Pitt, Whippeal wrestling, which I believe is at AAA, at least is at Cannon Mac, I think. And we could also have those same 2 days. We could have basketball games down at the Pete on the University of Pittsburgh's campus, which the Pete is, as you know, it's 200 yards from the pool. So you could cover both of those. Okay, we're good. So, it's a busy month. It's a busy month, and man, we got, like I said, we got some teams and individuals that are capable of some big things. So we'll see how it turns out.
Yep, for sure.
So, Derek, your record is...
I'm now 11-11, by the way. It's 11-11.
11-11. So this one has a few branches to it, but I know that your brain's a computer. So can you name one of 2 players to win a Heisman Trophy, AP Rookie of the Year award, AP Player of the Year award, and a Super Bowl during their careers? There's just 2 of them.
Okay.
Say this again? I'm confused.
2 players ever have won each a Heisman Trophy, AP Rookie of the Year, AP Player of the Year, and a Super Bowl during their careers. Can Derek name one of them?
Not Lamar Jackson.
Super Bowl, they're Super Bowl or Super Bowl MVP?
Super Bowl.
Okay.
And they're not obscure names, so it's not like Angelo Burrow or whatever.
Teddy Bridgewater.
He didn't play in the Super Bowl or anywhere. We're good. We're good.
Welcome to Beyond Butler, our weekly segment where we talk about something outside of Butler County sports, whether that be professionally or collegiately. With Sunday's Super Bowl, we will close the chapter on pro football and college football this season, for that matter. College football wrapped up a few weeks ago, the national championship that Derek and Jake say that I don't think exists. But with that, I kind of wanted to ask them, because it's a difficult time for me without football. How do you guys get your football fix during the off season, or are you kind of just looking towards baseball and being like, whatever?
Well, I'm certainly not looking forward to baseball. In fact, once the Super Bowl's played, I think Beth is planning on doing this like later this month. We're obviously going to have cable for the Super Bowl, but then we're getting it shut off until August. So I'll have to keep my track of my Pirates being 20 games back at the All-Star break online, apparently, on my phone.
Cable's expensive.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to baseball, at least current baseball. As you guys know, I pass the time a lot by watching old things on YouTube, not just football. I mean, there's times I'll watch a World Series game from the mid-'80s on YouTube. That's how I get my sports fix for the most part. And as you know, I'm not a hockey guy. I'm no longer an NBA guy, so I really don't care what's going on in those sports. But I'll watch highlights from 25, 30, 35, 40 years ago on YouTube. That's how I get by. But I'm not how can you look forward to the Pirates season? You might follow it once it gets here, but how can you actually say you're looking forward to it?
Skeens
Maybe
Day.
John does, because he's a hardcore
You
fan.
look forward to Skeens Days. A
That
2-1
guy right
loss.
there.
A 2-1 loss.
Yeah,
12
2-1 loss, 15 strikeouts.
I guess technically I have more to look forward to, because my Phillies still think that they're a World Series contender, although the Dodgers are gonna. I like the break here, and like we were just talking about with winter high school sports, the next month and a half gets really intense. So I don't care that no other sports are really going on. Now March Madness, I will dive into like the first couple weeks of that. You guys will probably see me with like the laptop on one side with one game on, and then I might bring my other laptop in to put a second game on.
We put it on TV and
put it, yeah. And we'll have a third TV on in there and stuff like that. But like I'll do that for the first 2 weekends. Once you get through the Sweet 16, like I kind of check out on it afterwards, because like I just want to see the chaos and the upsets in the beginning, and then after that it's usually still Kansas and UCLA and whoever else in these games. It's going to be Arkansas this year because Calipari just beat Kentucky over the weekend. So like I get into it for a little bit, and then baseball season. Like I'm not as diehard like when pitchers and catchers show up next week and the week after for almost every team. I'm not like chomping at the bit there. But I will say though, so Mallory and I are going to Japan for our honeymoon, and we're like nearly ready to start booking everything. We're trying to figure out a couple more details. One of the things I do want to do is go see a Nippon League baseball game. I'm really, really excited about that, because everything I hear, and I've had some friends go to these games, they are really fun atmospheres, even in the regular season. So I'm hoping to go see a Hanshin Tigers game. It looks like when we're going to be there, they're going to be facing the Oryx Buffalo, which is like their next door neighbor. Both teams are in Osaka. So we'll see local rivals against each other.
So go to Japan for your honeymoon. Wow.
Mallory's wanted to do this for a long time, and I was like, yeah, sure.
Do you like sushi?
Oh, love it. She got me
to the right place.
She got me into sushi. I didn't want to eat it, and she's like, just try this one time, and like just started with like simple sashimi and stuff like that, and slowly got into more. I got a good story for this. My parents took us to St. Thomas for their 35th anniversary in 2019, and so it was me and Mallory. At that time, we were dating, and then my brother and his girlfriend, and so in the last 5 years, both of us have now gotten married to our now wives. We went down to St. Thomas, and we wanted to get sushi. The kids, us four, wanted to get sushi at some point because we're on an island. It's got to be decent. And we convinced my dad to have some, and we went to a place that would also have cooked sushi, like shrimp, because you can't eat raw shrimp, for my mom, because my mom will eat shrimp, and she'll eat lo mein and stuff like that, but she doesn't like raw sushi. We convinced my dad to try some, and by the end of the night, he was eating some of the like shrimp tempura stuff and whatnot. and then he wanted to go to another sushi restaurant like 2 days later.
Yeah.
So he actually likes it.
It
now.
all starts with the shrimp tempura.
shrimp
Tempura.
that's the one that
Is that
like
right?
once
Yeah,
you
that's
can
the one
get to
that
that
gets you.
point. Yeah.
It gets you, and then all of a sudden you're eating like.
Yeah.
I like the raw. I'm a raw
Yeah.
sushi girl.
Spicy
we found
tuna.
another thing that
Oh.
Brendan doesn't like.
Spicy tuna is just like you
Do
can
you
put
like-
almost anything in spicy tuna and I'm good.
Derek, do you like sushi?
No, and I have tried it because Beth and Will love it. I mean, I love Chinese, but sushi, Japanese, I'm not in.
I'm really excited for that. We're gonna go see Mount Fuji. We're gonna have a lot of sushi. A lot of sushi. She wants to have a lot of ramen, so
Lot of sushi, lot of ramen.
she's my.
So where are
my
you
soul
flying?
intake.
Where are you flying out of?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
To
It'll depending on the flight. It could be JFK, Chicago, DC, LA as the pit stop.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're either going east or west.
Yeah,
I think it's
you go over the North Pole pretty much.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Proud of
wild.
Brennan.
Brendan
about
is
how
so
that works.
over all of us right
I'm trying
now
to think about how that
So
works.
you gotta think. You can't think about the globe as like the flat surface that you see when you're like looking at a
'Cause
map
it's
on a
not
screen
flat.
or something like that. It'll.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
You,
That's crazy.
I remember
But
this
if you
when
think
I flew
about
to
where
Europe for the
Japan
first
is,
time.
it would be easier to get to it that way
Yeah,
than
it's a more
going over
direct route.
Europe. It's more direct.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So we will go like, depending on
I didn't
site and
know they
everything,
did
you
that.
could almost see like the northern lights and stuff like that.
Crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not looking forward to the flight. but-
Planes over the past few weeks or something to kind of stay away from.
Yes.
I'd be driving
But-
a car to Japan.
I don't think I can make it there. But yeah, sushi and Nippon League baseball game. She wants to go see Universal Studios Japan.
I didn't know that existed.
Yep.
It sure does.
Oh yeah, she claims that it is way better than the U.S. version. So
Well,
we'll see.
I am gonna miss football because Saturdays and Sundays don't feel quite the same.
Yeah,
with
you're
football.
rocking back and forth.
Don't break
here.
my
Your
chairs,
tone
bro.
is just
Don't
very
break my chairs.
despondent.
I
I'm
bought those
sorry, Brendan.
chairs.
I'm
I
gonna
know
admit
they're not super fan. I'm trying to get fancier chairs.
Brendan,
some backstory here of why I got interested in sports journalism was I used to take boxes and like write ESPN on the front of them and sit in my room and I'd simulate NCAA football games and I'd look at the stats and I'd like read it off of paper.
You pretend like
I
you were
love
like
this.
a broadcaster.
Honestly,
Yeah.
That's
I love
amazing.
this.
I was,
That's
like, I was in
amazing.
like 6th grade. Yeah.
Yes.
That is like it's a very silly, like I'm laughing at it because it's funny, but it's like in the best adorable way possible, man. That is so
That's
funny.
funny.
Soon, when I have several itty bitty gritties, I'll just be dancing them here. Just imagine that.
Once I get you guys all bobbleheads, I want to hit the
Oh, we're
bobbleheads.
still
so
getting
they're all-
bobbleheads?
So they're all doing this at the same time. Okay, go ahead.
Are we getting one to keep?
Yeah, we gotta get 2 of each.
Sell to the old
That's
women
the
that would be
goal.
interested in buying mine.
Yeah, we could have a merch
Why
store.
did you have to go right to old women?
'Cause
What does that
Brendan-
mean?
Women love me.
Old women love
I
Brendan,
imagine
man.
you'd say anyone that's born in the 1900s, which would be me. So.
I was born in the 1900s,
What year were you born again?
98.
Wow. It's graduating high school. Going out into the world.
I was in college.
Brendan was like,
In my Elmo blanket. Okay.
That's yesterday.
that he
What are you
still
talking
sleeps
about?
with. That was yesterday. To your girlfriend because she's going to leave you for a Philly player. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Derek. Oh, I
You
gotta
gotta
ask the question again.
Yeah, give it.
Derek, can you name one of 2 players to win each a Heisman Trophy, an NFL AP Rookie of the Year award, an NFL AP Player of the Year award, and a Super Bowl title during their careers? There are 2. Can you name one?
Jim Plunkett.
What? No.
think he has 3 of the 4.
Since there's 2, you get another guess. Since there's 2.
Tony Dorsett. No. Whatever.
Ooh.
Oh,
I'm
Who
done.
were they?
Charles Woodson and Marcus Allen.
Woodson won MVP. Well, I guess it's not
AP
MVP.
Player of the Year. He was Defensive
Wow.
Player of the Year 2010.
and Heisman?
2009. Yes, he won a Heisman. He's one of 2 defensive
97.
players to win a Heisman.
97.
Wow, I didn't know he won AP Player of the Year. All right,
I fall below 500 again.
So now
2
it's
game losing streak
11
for Derek.
12.
3 actually, because I was 11-9 at one point.
11,
Oh.
12, huh?
Yep.
Whoa.
I gotta go do some soul searching right now. Just look in the mirror and see exactly what I want.
The
out of
standard
life.
is the standard, Derek.
Yeah,
Come on, you're not living up to it.
I'm not.
Oh.
All right, we got a game this weekend.
We do. The Super Bowl, which is Jake's Eagles against Brendan's Chiefs.
Not my Chiefs, but I'm cheering for them.
So Let's get your take. This is the official take because this podcast is going to drop 3 days before the game. Your take on the game, the outcome, how it's going to play out, and give me obviously a final score and your MVP, Brendan.
I have down here that I was a little passionate typing this out last night.
I saw.
We're going to see football at its very worst. We're going to see the brute, not at all entertaining play that is the tush push. And I hate that phrase. You want to use the word hate? I hate that phrase.
Brotherly shove, man.
I might dislike that one even more. And Patrick Mahomes is going to be out there complaining. Travis Kelce's going to be doing his stupid celebrations whenever he's going to be getting up in people's faces and not getting flags. And then we're going to top it all off with what I think is the second softest play in football after the tush push is kicking a game-winning field goal. Harrison Butker will have that game winner for the Chiefs, I think. Saquon is going to win MVP on the losing team, and the Chiefs win 27-24.
Wait a minute. Saquon's going to win MVP on a losing team?
Yep, because he's the best player.
Can I say something here? There's only one player from a losing team that's ever won MVP. Chuck Howley from Super Bowl V, and that's because both offenses were absolutely inept in that game. This game, I think both offenses are going to play well in this game.
Saquon's going to rush for 3 touchdowns and still lose. But do you guys like that? Is that what you want to see? Because I take back what I say about missing football.
You like that?
I hate this sport.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Okay, Jake, you got a team that's actually your team's involved in this, so we know who you're going with. But how's the game going to unfold here?
You don't know who I'm going with. You don't know where my head is at.
I
don't trust this team.
Oh, no.
I don't trust this coach. I don't trust this offense. I'm going to set the over-under on Nick Sirianni firings at 19.5, which is over what I did in the NFC divisional round, but less than what I did in the NFC championship game. He's on notice here. I will fire him over/under 19.5 times during the game.
Okay.
I might actually get 1 or 2 of those in pregame.
Do you have Jeffrey Lurie's cell phone number? Is that?
I will find a way. I will find a way. I don't trust this team. Everything outside of Saquon Barkley, I don't trust. I'm anxious. I don't like this. Mallory is the only reason she's watching this game is for Kendrick Lamar at halftime. She's going to be the calmest person in that entire room because the cat and dog are going to be mad at me because I'm making noise, and I'm going to be mad at the team and the TV. I will not throw anything. I'm not violent. I'm just going to fire people.
Now let me ask you this: is it because you feel that if you're negative on the Eagles, that helps them win?
Don't peek behind the curtain, Derek. Don't peek behind the curtain. The man is not there.
Jake's the man behind the green curtain here.
I have been doing this since week 4.
I am the Wizard of Oz.
I have been cursing out this team since week 4.
I am the great and powerful.
So give us a score. Give us an MVP.
I will not give
He's
a score.
not going to do that. He doesn't want to have
I don't
Derek asks for a score. You give him a score.
So
Derek's the host.
We got
Give him a
one guy
score.
here who likes Philly. I mean, he wants them to win.
Yeah.
We got one guy here who wants Kansas City to win. I'm in between because I want Philly to win, but I just can't go against Mahomes. I think they've got too much going for him. Patrick Mahomes, MVP, 4 touchdown passes, 400 yards passing, 34-27 Chiefs. And believe me, my son, my wife, and me are all going to be cheering for the Eagles because we just don't want to see Kansas City continue their dominance, but
yeah,
they're
we
going
need to break the spell.
They're going to do it. My son, by the way, he is picking your Eagles to win 34-30. So
close to the Patriots-Eagles Super Bowl.
yeah. So
He knows
hopefully
his stuff.
Will's right. I'm hoping he's right, but I've been waiting for Kansas City to falter since like late October. They kept winning those games where there was like freaky things happening, like a phantom snap on a field goal, and
blocked kick.
the only game they've lost since then was that game at the very end of the regular season against the Broncos where they played a bunch of backups.
Yep.
So I'm basically resigning myself to the fact that I'm going to be disappointed by picking the Chiefs. And I hope the Eagles win, but I just don't see it happening.
I don't trust him. Don't apologize to me. I don't trust this team. I don't trust this team.
But Brendan will be able to wear his Kansas City Chiefs sweatshirt and hat because we know he's a closet Chiefs fan.
The only good thing I will have going for me that
Okay.
entire day is salsa.
Here's a fun little wager. How about this?
Laura,
All right. How
what are you
about
doing, Laura? What are you doing, Laura?
I think someone should have to wear something next Monday on the
Not me.
episode
I don't-
if things don't.
I don't think
pan
we have.
out.
I think if this was Eagles Steelers, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, they played this year.
That could be
we know
fun,
how
though,
that game
couldn't
turned
it?
out.
That could be fun though, couldn't it? Can we do
See,
something?
the worst part
like
of this is
that?
going to be just having to deal with Tim if the Chiefs win.
Oh yeah, that is.
That's
he,
punishment.
He just comes sauntering out and he's like,
How about them Chiefs?
He wants to be
Steelers
on.
are out of the
He wants to be on the
playoffs, huh?
podcast.
Tim's a good dude, but
his Chiefs fandom is almost.
Are you willing to
unbearable.
wear something to the Eagles if the Eagles win? Because I'm not wearing either team.
Come on,
I'm not
Brandon.
forcing you into a bet here because you know where I stand.
It's me.
I've got to fire.
It's the producer asking. I think it'd be fun.
She'll get
Yeah.
Gretzky if you agree to do this.
I don't
Hey,
want-
Wayno, we're waiting for you.
Hey, Wayne.
Sure. I don't know what Eagles I'd be wearing, but
Whatever he brings you.
Underoos.
Oh, there we go.
send it on that.
And that's all for this week. No, I'm just kidding. You guys. What else you got?
Gonna
That's
be stuffed
it?
with salsa
That's it.
and maybe wings.
You guys want to say bye?
Bye.
Goodbye.
See you later.
We encourage you to subscribe to the Butler Eagle YouTube channel and Apple or Spotify podcasts or your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Alter Eagle Podcast and at Butler Eagle News. Goodbye.